Well, this morning I have the pleasure of introducing friend and partner in ministry to you, Marv Knox. Marv is no stranger here. He serves as the field coordinator for Fellowship Southwest, a multicultural network of faith communities that improves lives and shares the love of God with people whom others often discount and overlook. Marv, thank you. Thank you for being here with us today, and thank you for the work that you do. We look forward to hearing more from you this morning about how Fellowship Southwest is impacting the lives of those who particularly live on the border between Texas and Mexico. Without actually being at the border, it is hard to really know how to make sense of what we hear through the media these days. And maybe you can help us a bit here. With your network, what are you hearing as it relates to the safety and well-being of those who are coming to our borders?
Well, thanks, Heather. And first of all, let me just say it's great to be with you, Wilshire. I love you guys and appreciate you so much. The things there are three things that seem to me to be impacting the refugees that we relate to on the border. The one is just the hardness of being in the asylum seeking process, particularly right now. The U.S. government has cut way back. Basically, they're not being processed, and so they've been amassed at the border. It's kind of shifted from trying to find the truth about refugee situations and help them to make good decisions about seeking asylum to finding excuses to not let them cross at all. The second one is that northern Mexico is the most dangerous part of all of the Americas right now because of cartel violence and that sort of thing. And so they're in precarious positions if they're not protected by the pastors that we work with in particular along the border. And then the third thing, of course, is like all over the world now, COVID has infested the border. And because they live in tight, close quarters, and because the medical system is overwhelmed, then the dangers of this disease, of this virus, are huge. So they really, every day, they face three major obstacles or challenges.
So Marv, with that, how is Fellowship Southwest Immigrant Relief Ministry seeking to help those who are facing these challenges and extremely vulnerable? And how has Wilshire been a part of that?
Yeah, well, thanks. First of all, on how is it functioning? Fellowship Southwest has a network of pastors, literally from the Gulf of Mexico, Brownsville, Matamoros, all the way to San Diego, Tijuana, several places. The only state that we don't across from is we don't have any right around the Arizona area, but up and down the border. And these are pastors who literally found immigrants when they could stay on the U.S. side of the border on their doorsteps, living in the streets, and they began feeding them. When the policy changed and they moved to Mexico, the pastors moved the ministries to Mexico. And so we help them to pay for rent for some facilities, to buy food, to help with transportation, things that they need to just keep these ministries going. They try really hard to make it as protected and safe and comfortable as they can. For example, they buy food that's the kind of food that the refugees would eat at home. They cook it there usually. We bought new stoves and refrigerators, that sort of thing. And so at least meal kind of feels and smells like home. And they face harsh situations. I mean, for example, one family that we met in Nuevo Laredo, they were standing around, Piedras Negras, and we were visiting with them. They had two little girls at the same ages of my granddaughters. They're 5 and 2 at the time. And they were debating whether or not they were going to swim the river because they were so frustrated because the asylum process was so shut down, and they felt like they didn't have a future if they couldn't get their daughters to the United States. It just breaks my heart. And Wilshire has been a great friend and supporter. The church has given money. The Compass class has collected funds twice. And then you all helped us to buy a van for Lorenzo Ortiz, who shuffles immigrants around in Nuevo Laredo to Monterrey and Saltillo, and he keeps them off the highways and out of the buses so they're safe from the cartels. You guys have played a big role in helping keep immigrants safe.
Oh, thanks, Marv, for that update and those stories of heartbreak. I can't imagine. I have a 5 and a 1-year-old, so it's hard to imagine the heartbreak and the feeling of hopelessness and grief that is accompanying so many lives there. So if we're interested in kind of connecting more, hearing more of these stories in regards to what Fellowship Southwest is up to, and these pastors in particular, where can we find more information?
Yeah. So three things. First of all, I'll point back to you, Heather. You know all about us. So if you don't know how to find us, find Heather and she'll connect you to us. And then the second one is our website is our name, fellowshipsouthwest.org. We post lots of stories. We have our newsletter up there. You can sign up to get the newsletter. You can also click to donate if you'd like to support us. So through Wilshire's budget, through the donate page on our website there, and then connecting on our newsletter. Oh, and then the other one is, we can be any place at any time now virtually. And so I would be delighted to come and talk if your Sunday school class or any other group wants to learn more and have a little bit more time. I'd be delighted. Just let me know and I'll put on a Fellowship Southwest shirt and be there.
I love that. Well, Marv, last thing, we've got a minute or two here, but how can we pray for those whom are serving in this way?
Yeah. I would ask for your prayers two ways. For those who are serving, these are pastors and most of the time harsh circumstances, some tough churches, mostly ministering among immigrants themselves. And now they're taking on this huge job of going across the border over and over again. And so pray for their safety. Particularly against COVID right now and against fatigue. Pray for their families who sometimes don't have their husband or their father around very much because they're over on the other side of the border working. And so just pray that God will sustain them, give them wisdom and how to handle situations that they've maybe not faced before. And then when you're thinking about that, pray for the people that they minister to. First of all, for the conditions that drive them here that are harsh and severe, but then also for their waiting, for their insecurity, for their aspirations, that God would let them know that they are loved and that contextually that we as a larger people in their home countries here and Mexico would have their best interest at heart and would help to come alongside them to give them hope and to give them a future.
Well, thank you, Marv. I hope that you will pass on to this network of pastors and the people they serve our love and prayers, and that we're with them. Thank you.
I'm going to WhatsApp right now and tell them. I'll be happy to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for that brief update, and we look forward to hearing more from you.
Thanks, Heather.